just serving. I was just serving. Did you come in and eat?
No, I just eat some hot dogs.
Oh,
Kendall was holding a plate of pancakes and you were there.
yeah. I got long pulled on doing that.
Funny how that stuff works.
Yeah. I got free breakfast out of it, so.
Okay, we are recording.
All right. All right. We are ready to start. Start with a roll call. President Kevin Smith, present. Commissioner Bob Redevelopment. Here. Commissioner Matt McAleer.
Here.
Commissioner Steve Mush. Absent. Commissioner Jeff Webb.
Here.
Okay. If everybody will take a minute through here and look at the minutes from last meeting. Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. And we did not have any claims. We're on to.
Should have two claims.
Yes, there are two.
For facade variance.
Yes, there are two claims, one for $14,132 and one for $17,361.37. Those are from CI Insurance and 181 Properties, respectively. I verified that the work has been completed. We worked out that this will be the first one that will be paid out from Main Street. So Stace and I worked out how to do that.
CI Insurance. Which one's CI Insurance?
That is the old, is it First National Bank, I think what it says on that?
Yeah.
Yeah, they put up some new signs and done some other work at the front, as well as put a new roof on. The 181 Properties building is the one next to the,
Surveyors building.
yes, next to, thank you, next to Turning Point Surveying. It's that little, like, very narrow building. They redid the front of that, and then on the back side, that's it's totally redone. There's a nice concrete pad there and a door with a patio for a rental.
Any other questions on this?
Is that your building qualified cave?
Yes. Yes, it was part of the facade grant application that was approved.
Any other questions on it?
Motion approved.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next is new business, June TIP financial update.
Yes. This is really just to let you guys know that we received the TIF distribution for June. For the Drexel TIF, it was $334,880.24. For the Littner TIF, it was $53,534.36. And I do apologize for not including these figures in the meeting packet. I can send them on to you guys. This is information from the clerk treasurer. And then finally, the Van Rensselaer residential TIF received $6,814.17. To compare from last December, Drexel received $352,803.78, so it's down about $20,000 from December. And Lintner received $42,424.99, which is actually about $10,000 more went into the Lintner TIF for June. To compare from last year, the Drexel funds are about $130,000 less than what they were last June. And according to the clerk treasurer, who spoke to Baker Tilly about 2 weeks ago, they suggested minimizing our spending with TIF funds to compensate for this. Now, we had already talked about some of this last November, or I think it was actually in December when I presented the TIF report that Baker Tilly had put together for us due to the changes with Senate Enroll Act 1. So this is, I think, generally pretty close to where they were predicting. I think it fell a little bit short, but basically I just wanted to relay the clerk treasurer's recommendation that we cut back on spending out of TIP funds for this reason. So.
Do you have where our balance actually is?
Not off the top of my head, but it's around 900,000. Well, actually, if you add the 300,000 here into the Drexel TIF, it's probably sitting at around 1.1 to 1.2 billion right now.
Everything committed out of that?
You. So you'll have the mural funds that are going to have to come out of that. We haven't really received any other updates on the facade grant, so not a whole lot there. The only other one is the trail itself.
Yeah.
We've kind of committed to that, although we've had some good talks with Jasper Newton Foundation. They've submitted a $300,000 grant request from the Lilly Fund that they hope will cover a good majority of this. And then again, we'll partner with the county commissioners on getting that trail done. So if we do something like that, it would be about a third of $1 million, so around $300,000 each from the county, from us, and then from the grant. So hopefully it'll come out reasonable.
If I remember correctly, I believe there's one facade grant award that's still floating out there where they're doing the work but haven't requested the reimbursement yet. I believe you guys should be getting that by October, roundabout in there. But I think that there's only one, and I think it's likely to be for the full 25,000. So I know of one other party that's interested in applying for the facade grant for the next quarter. But other than that, there's no other commitments. Obviously, nobody else has been awarded. I should make that explicit. Just the one place.
Some of the issues we may still have, though, are we've identified a number of properties that aren't allowing us to recoup all the funding that is necessary, such as Jasper County has the airport, the county highway, the fairgrounds. None of those are taxing bodies, so we've asked Baker Tilly to remove those. We could recoup somewhere around $56,000 once we remove those properties that aren't benefiting the TIF district itself. So we'll bring that to your attention when we get it ready, and hopefully get those properties out of there and try to find ways to continue the funds to come in. The one that's disappointing is the Van Rensselaer TIF. As we talked about this, we were looking at trying to improve property values with everybody in that Van Rensselaer TIF area, a residential area that sounded like a very good idea that our legislators gave us a nice tool for, and then Senate Enroll Act 1 just came in and bulldozed that. The idea was to take these funds and then utilize them for the grant for the owner-occupied rehabilitation housing, and we would use these funds to pay the matching funds for that.
Yeah.
Well, it's a little frustrating there. So,
Is there anything going on down there to offset that legislation? I've asked that question, not here before, but.
yes. In some way, it's always an influx. So it probably won't happen this year. It'll probably be more in a budget year when they want to come in and do some of those things. But you can feel some movement where some people understood what happened wasn't good for Indiana. I mean, it's just not good for Indiana, period. So, I think you'll feel some more heat when people start looking at the income tax that comes out of their paycheck when they realize, hey, I got $40 off of my property tax this year. Well, they're going to take a lot more than $40 out of my paycheck. I can tell you, the way that was set up, it just didn't make sense. So yes, there is some movement, but there's also just as much movement that might go the other direction. So we'll see what happens.
I would just add that the next item on the agenda is in part to offset some of this loss to the TIF fund, especially the residential TIF.
Last thing, if I could, we've had a joint TIF resolution in front of Attorney Beaver for over a year now, trying to cover the water and sewer that we have extended all the way on the other side of I-65. I'm not quite sure what's taking the review this long to get completed, but we have spent some money from the TIF dollars to get that done. And it's just frustrating. I'm sure you can hear in my voice, but we need to get moving before somebody comes in there and starts improving that property and we don't have it in place, is what I'm most nervous about.
Are there any other questions about the TIF disbursement for Jim?
You don't need a vote on that. That's just more information.
No, we do not need action for that.
Okay. Next on the agenda, owner occupancy housing rehabilitation grant.
Yes, so this is one that I think I mentioned in previous meetings. The deadline for the submission for this round of applications is next week. So this resolution is basically authorizing that 10% matching funding. So the total grant that we're applying for, well, I should back up a little bit. I've talked about this before. This grant basically is housing and urban development funds that are being distributed by OCRA at the state level to municipalities for homeowners to improve and repair their own homes where they live. In order to qualify, you have to live within the city limits. You must own and occupy the house, the property that's in question that you're applying for. And there are specific restrictions on what the funds can be used for. So it's the applicants can get up to $25,000 to repair and rehabilitate their roofs, to replace their HVAC and electrical systems to a certain extent. We found out that they can also now use it for ADA accessibility, both outside and inside the home. Is there any other area that I'm forgetting? Oh, hot water heaters as well.
Did you put it out for windows or anything along those lines?
No, I don't believe so. But this is an opportunity for homeowners within the city, specifically people who are elderly, single heads of household, veterans, or disabled. Basically, people who don't have the means necessarily to repair their properties on their own. So this is a way for us to help them out a little bit with that, and in turn try to raise some of those property values and get money flowing back into that residential TIF. So this resolution is approving $35,000 in TIF funds to match the 10% of the $350,000 of the grant that we are applying for. I don't believe that I don't believe that we're going to lose this money if we don't get the grant, obviously. But that is basically what this is for. I've talked with Emily at Curbsy. She's been our main point of contact for this. She said that the TIF funds are often used for this specific grant. Are there any questions about the resolution or the grant?
Has there been anybody inquire about?
Yes. We've received, so as part of this process, We have been encouraging people to fill out inquiry forms, but not applications, because we haven't actually been awarded the grant yet, but inquiry forms to help us gauge the level of interest or the number of qualified people. I think we have something around between 15 and 20 that have been turned in by now. So there is some interest. One thing that Emily has told me was basically that the first time the communities apply for this specific grant, there's often some hesitation, either because people don't know about it or are suspicious of, people saying you can get up to $25,000 in free money. They assume that there's some sort of strings attached. But that often, if we don't get enough interest in that first round, that in the second round there's often a lot more because you've sort of primed people for it. So right now there's between 1 and 2 dozen people who have expressed some level of interest, but I'm not sure the exact number right now.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a really good program and be a nice help to some people in the community.
Are they required to put in money?
No.
It's not a match.
No, not from the owners themselves, no. Now, they do have to go through an income verification process. I forgot to mention, this is supposed to be for low to moderate income homeowners as well. I should have mentioned that. That's one of the qualification thresholds is the income level. But they have to, go through a verification process with CURBSI to make sure that they really are making as much money as they say. Do you have any other income streams or properties, things of that nature? So there's a process that people go through, but there's no money that they have to put up themselves. And it's also, the contracts are awarded for this in a big batch together. So CURBSI and the city will basically work together to verify and vet those people who bid on these contracts.
So is this something that comes around, I'm assuming it's a once-a-year deal? Or?
I believe there's 3 grant cycles per year. If we don't get this one, the next due date for applications, I believe, is in November. So
it's around that same $350 each time then?
Yes, unless that amount changes. That is the maximum amount that a city can be awarded for this. Now, I should also add that we could be awarded less than that total amount that we're applying for. So they may find that there's only $200,000 worth of work that needs to be done in Rensselaer. So.
You said that there has to be bids for every project.
Yes. But they're done as one package. So you'll have one roofing company that's doing all of the roofs that are associated with this grant. One company doing all the plumbing, and so on and so forth.
So I'm just curious, the people that have shown interest, how do they even find out about it? Did we reach out?
We've been trying
We've been trying to reach out, advertise as much as possible. Got in touch with a few community organizations around to sort of put the word out. I believe Emily's doing a luncheon, is it tomorrow, over at the community center to try and generate some more interest there. We did a information session last week for this. One person did show up to that, so that was gratifying. But yes, we've been trying to reach out through our own channels here to get people to apply. So, and I'll add that I've received a handful of applications that are from people who are unfortunately outside of the city limits. So there's interest for this, but it's going to take a scattershot approach, I think, just to get as many people as possible to apply. So. Are there any other questions about the grant or the resolution?
Any stipulations on how quickly they can sell the property?
I do not believe that we are putting those kinds of stipulations on this grant. We do have the capability of doing that, but I don't believe that is the plan at this time. Right now, we're trying to cast as wide a net as possible to get as many people interested as we can.
Somebody want to get a motion?
Make a motion to approve the resolution.
I'll second it. All in favor? Aye.
Thank you.
All right. Let's talk property acquisition. All right.
So Jacob forwarded you all pictures of some of the properties that have come to our attention in a city council meeting even. I would take the 314 North Front property off of there now. That property has a judgment against it, correct, sir? So,
City owns judgment.
no. So we need to see what the final outcome of the judgment is. If you want to help me out there.
It's a $2,500 judgment. There's a couple of ways we could go about it. One, putting it on the tax rolls, which is a kind of a statutory process. The other would be foreclosing on it, like foreclosing on any lien, like a mortgage lien, which may be a more lengthy, expensive process, but we can look into it both and evaluate which way we want to go. I don't think we've gotten his attention otherwise. Unless there's something recently that's happened.
There are some recent happenings that will hopefully help us with that. And then 217 North Front was one of the other properties that they complained about. The front porch looked like it was caving in on this residence. Then 913 North Cullen, we just haven't seen a whole lot of movement on that property. The Cherry Street one, Jacob said he checked into that today, and there is some upgrades to that house. They obviously know that we would like to see some more movement on that one. We will have to probably see about that. And then 909 North Webster, a family member came in and showed me that residence. The owners are reluctant to do anything with it, so we'll have Jacob draft a letter, run it past Mr. Salmons, and then talk to these people about what their plans are prior to us going and asking for us to actually take over that property. So that's kind of where we're at with those three pieces of property. The other two, there is some movement on, but we wanted to make sure we brought it to your attention that it may need further legal action to get these properties moving.
Is anybody staying in any of these?
I believe that the Webster Street house is vacant, but I haven't been able to.
It is. The Webster Street, the two on Front Street have someone in there. The other three, I don't believe I have anyone in there.
Also the one on Cherry and Franklin is unoccupied. But that one, I've been in touch with the owners and basically encouraging them to please secure the building against, unauthorized entry or animals and that sort of thing. And they have actually done so. They've boarded up the windows at the very least. But it's going to take some substantial work to rehabilitate that structure. I'll also add that the Webster Street address has been sent a couple of letters at this point, as well as some abatement notices for the state of the sidewalk in front. But I think this is a case of where the previous owner had died, and it's basically being taken care of by their children. So.
The nice thing about that property acquisition list is the 2 or 3 pieces of property that we did put on there last year. We've seen movement now where the one's been purchased and knocked down. The other one actually is working with the city about cleaning it out. I think the property on Elm Street is all cleaned out, and the son has stepped forward along with the daughter. So they're going to go ahead and redo that house also. So we are seeing some movement. The idea is to continue this movement by putting on these residents on the same list. So hopefully we'll see the same kind of movement on these abandoned or much needed help properties. Any questions? Anything I missed, Attorney Salmon?
I don't believe so, man.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay. have anything? I don't see anything down for old business, Jacob.
Well, Mr. Laird has come here tonight to discuss some of that. Yeah.
Come on up.
I keep hearing about how housing is needed here, and I was disappointed to be in a meeting where no one placed a bid on the 7th Street parcel, and because I have absolutely no skills in the area, I said, oh, well, geez, someone should buy that. And so I'm making a proposal. I understand that this is just the start of a discussion about it. I'm not experienced with this. But I did put together a few thoughts with some help from AI. So that's, yeah, read that with. But I'm proposing to do something that's in line with the city's housing plan that I don't know that that's been accepted yet. Is that?
Yes.
It has been, okay. So I tried to read through that and see what was desired there. So I'm looking at splitting that 7th Street parcel. I'd like to do something a little different than having, I understand that it could be split for 2 duplexes, but the current zoning would be that those duplexes would be on a single lot each.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to use the USDA funding and simplify it so to have it actually split down the common wall. So same layout, but more conducive to owner occupants. That they would own it, there would be no HOA, there would be no landlord. ADA, affordable, those are my goals. I don't really want to be a developer, so I'm capping the fee, the profit on it. I just want to see some housing built, and I'd like to see this put in a catalog of designs that the city would approve without administrative review. You know this better than I do, probably.
Yeah.
The state has, so that someone else could come along and take this and run with it very easily. So I'm proposing that I would develop half of it to start, see how that goes, and then in phase 2 figure out what could be done better. And I'm sorry I didn't make copies for everyone. I was running back from Lafayette. And again, this is just the start of a conversation, so I'm open to.
So we were talking about the 7th Street lot. So there's several along there. Which one or ones are we talking about?
The
Half
bigger
acre.
one. Yeah.
The bigger one?
Yes.
So one.
The one that's
to
actually
the
on
property,
7th
the
Street.
lady from last, okay.
Yes.
There's only one on 7th Street, if I,
Yes, that's
is that right?
Yeah.
Correct, okay.
I think it's a good idea. Like, we need a little bit of time to think about this. Anybody have any questions for him on?
At some point, when Mr. Laird's ready, we'll ask Attorney Sammons to draft some type of agreement so that we can get that lot sold to them and move forward with that project. So right now, very preliminary, but at least Mr. Laird's ready to come forward and say he's ready to invest in the city of Rensselaer, and we certainly appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just trying to get my brain wrapped around where we're at exactly. So we're talking 7th Street between Angelica and Cherry?
Yes.
Yes.
That's right.
Okay. And that's all one lot?
No.
There's one lot north of it on Cherry, that
Okay.
corner lot, and then it's south of that, and it's a
Okay.
half acre,
Okay.
100 feet of frontage.
On the east side of 7th Street.
Yes.
East of 7th, yeah.
And then how many lots are on Melville?
6.
8.
Eight.
Yes. This specifically is about the lot that the Redevelopment Commission owns that's on 7th Street.
Technically 4 on Melville, 4 on 7.
These lots
That's
were
a good
offered
point
for sale, couple months ago?
Right, or, yeah.
Yeah. And no one else was dumb enough to offer, so here I am.
Well, I'm not sure how zero lot line will be welcome.
I don't know. It doesn't change the physical. I'm not asking for any change to the physical, what ends up there. It would strictly be ownership. So getting owner occupants in there instead of landlord occupants.
Yeah, zero lot line means you go to the property line.
No, zero lot line means that the individual duplex units would be owned by the occupants. So there would still be the same setback requirement that's there for R2. So it's 5 feet on the sides, 25 feet in the front. So nothing changes there. It's just for financing, rather than having an HOA and having someone own the whole duplex, each occupant could own their part of the duplex. The zero lot line would be the shared wall of the duplex.
Aren't the duplexes to the west of Staten that way?
Swartzel, that's why I was just wondering if there's some
Yeah.
Swartzel like that.
I think
I
they're that
think
way.
you're right. There's also some over in Countryside Circle that are like that. Or at least, that's how it looks on Beacon.
Those may be condominium
It's a,
situation.
it's a PUD over there, I know. So,
Are you talking about, I'm trying to follow along too, Tyler, actually splitting the lot so that there is a lot line there, or the lot would stay, the plat would stay
The lot line
the same?
goes through the building.
So the easy way to do it is, Jacob and I figured out that we can split the existing lot in two. Have two 60-plus foot lots. Put a duplex on one, put a duplex on another.
That's pretty zero, yeah.
No problem. But I'm proposing that we would put a duplex on one, possibly put a duplex on the other, but then cut the one down the common wall. So this person could be an owner of this person could be an owner of that. There's no HOA involved.
I'm certain those in Swartzel are that way, because I think it's years ago, I had a family member look.
Yeah, my grandmother lived there.
Yep.
I think it's 864 and 866. Swartzel.
And I'm not suggesting any change to what the neighbors would see.
Sure.
It would just be owner occupants rather than landlords. And the USDA 502 program is geared toward only owner occupants. And so I want to, the 502 program, as I understand it, eliminates down payments. So one of my goals is make this like being in an apartment as far as the costs, and not having a down payment would go a long way toward that.
Very preliminary, but
Absolutely.
just wanted to bring you up to speed.
Anything else?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you, guys.
Do we have anything else?
Nope.
Next meeting will be Monday, August 3rd. If there's no other comments, questions, make a motion to adjourn.
So moved.